This is the Head Rush Podcast with Paul Fraze and Corey Berry.
Welcome to the Head Rush Podcast. It's a little bit different of a backdrop today. We're in lovely Tampa, Florida.
Can you tell with my new shirt?
I like that shirt. Why didn't you get one for me?
Because they didn't have your size. They didn't have the triple XLs.
Wow. All right. Welcome to the Head Rush Podcast. I'm Paul Fraze, and I played 11 years in the NFL, and our co-host, Corey Berry, rode professional rodeo for 9 years. At the Head Rush Podcast, we talk about everything related to brain trauma and brain health and wellness. We talk about traumatic brain injury, TBI, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, traumatic encephalopathy syndrome, TES, which is the closest that you can be diagnosed to CTE while you are alive. And Corey will share later with us about that. We also talk about repeated head impacts, RHI, repeated blast exposure for our military. We cover how traumatic brain injuries can and will cause mental health issues such as depression, addiction, lack of executive function, memory loss, even suicide ideation, as well as degenerative neurological issues. These symptoms can be found on the Mayo Clinic and Boston University websites under symptoms of CTE. Our mantra is how to cope and find hope. And we focus our energy on finding therapies and sharing hope through education and by raising awareness. And again, we are on a different backdrop. Corey?
Well, first, everyone, I want to say please like, share, follow, subscribe, go to our YouTube channels, our Google channels, all of our platforms. Do a review if you can. Please just like and share so we can get the hope and awareness out there to people that need it. On the better note, I'm in Tampa, Florida. Who would have ever thought you would see me next to an ocean? Even though I do love it, Port Aransas, Gulf of America. But
we got to get you in shorts and a bathing suit while you're here in Tampa. But
Speedos?
Cowboy Speedos? Do cowboys wear Speedos? All right.
No.
So there's a couple reasons why you sitting in this chair right now are pretty amazing. You got on a plane yesterday, and you flew from Dallas, from DFW to Tampa. How did that go for you? I mean, we actually just dropped recently an episode where we saw you overstimulated, and were you concerned about overstimulation getting on a plane?
Oh, 100%. And we took precautions, and my therapist, Crystal Clark, is here, and she flew with us and my wife, and they put baby in the corner and to protect me. But I got wheelchair access from the ticket to the gate, and then they wheelchaired me off.
And they didn't have to ground the plane on the 2.5 hour flight.
No, because all I did is I downloaded shows on my iPad,
right,
and hearing aids, and that's all I focused on for the 2.5 hour flight.
Right.
But why are we here?
We are here in honor of the Perri Parkman Foundation for repeated head impact awareness. This is the second annual event that they have sponsored, and they have many sponsors, but they have put on to bring some of the top doctors and specialists that deal with Frank Larkin was a guest speaker this afternoon.
Right.
The military specialists, and all to talk about
Tatiana McCall talked about Ray.
Right.
Ray Lewis the Third.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Just this first day has been an awareness and an honoring of kids, young kids that have lost their lives due to mental health issues.
Repeated head impacts.
Caused by repeated head impacts. And we can't stress enough that repeated head impacts. You heard our introduction and what we talk about. We can't stress enough that repeated head impacts can cause mental health issues. To the point where
the Parkman Foundation did that study of 152 participants, 30 and under. 40% had CTE,
right,
but 100% had brain damage.
100% had mental health issues, and 100% had some type of brain damage, and that none of them played professional sports.
Right.
And nearly, I think 50% passed from taking their own lives from suicide.
Man.
So anyway, wow. We're here to bring honor to these kids, people who, and our veterans that suffer from repeated head impacts. And it's
veterans repeated blast exposure, Paul.
Repeated blast exposure. Yes. Absolutely amazing what we heard for the first day.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to the second day even more.
Now, you're not going to see this for a little bit, and we got to figure that out. So this is happening right now, but this video will be showed down the road. And we got a great list of people that's going to come on this podcast. And we got Bruce Parkman's going to come on. We got Mark Gordon going to be coming on. Mizelle DeMayo is going to be coming on. And a few others.
Yeah, and we'll definitely grab people
Karen and
that
Doug Ziegel.
Karen and Doug Ziegel are all of our sponsors are here.
Right.
And it's an amazing conference.
You don't want to miss it next year, folks.
No.
Bruce announced it. It's going to be in D.C. next year.
Is it? Okay. Same time frame, September? Or
probably.
Yeah. Well, we're excited. We're going to bring you some guests coming up. We're going to introduce you to some guests and have some good conversation about repeated head impacts, about mental health issues, about inflammation in the brain that's caused
in the ocean breeze.
Yeah.
Smelling the ocean. I don't have my toes in the sand, but I am on the beach just above it on a deck. So I'm close to grounding, folks, but not totally. And no, I will not be wearing cowboy Speedos.
No shorts.
So
all right.
Let's take a pause right now and grab some gas, and we'll be right back.
Absolutely. From Tampa, Florida, the Head Rush Podcast. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Millennium Health Centers, Dr. Mark Gordon at tbihelpnow.org. He signed on with us. You've seen him in our episode 2 with Dr. Mizelle DeMayo and Dr. Gordon.
Dr. Gordon's been featured on a movie, Quiet Explosions, a documentary about TBI. Featured Andrew Marr, a Green Beret blast explosive specialist, and they talk about TBI, PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and gosh, I've watched that movie about 4 times, and I know Dr. Gordon has also been on Joe Rogan 6 times, so he has something good and powerful to say about TBI, traumatic brain injury. So go to tbihelpnow.org.
Correct.
And make sure you get in touch with their team. Dr. Gordon also works with the military. Do you want to?
Yeah, he works with the United States military. He's done the Pentagon. He's working real close with them. If you're a veteran and you need help, go to tbihelpnow.org. Dr. Mark Gordon quit his private practice just to work with the military.
Work with veterans suffering with PTSD.
Right, PTSD, TBIs, and repeated blast impacts.
Exactly.
And if you are a veteran, there's nothing closer to my heart than the people that serve our country and protect our way of right and our way to be able to do this podcast for you. So go to tbihelpnow.org and get the help you need. Mark Gordon, we work with him on the Brainwell program through Michelle DeMeo. If you go to tbihelpnow.org, there's a list. There may be a provider in your area in Canada. He's all over. So go to tbihelpnow.org and check it out.
We are here with two very special guests, and we're actually attending in Tampa the Mac Parkman second annual international. You're the only international group that does a summit on repetitive brain injuries or trauma.
This is the only summit in the world on repetitive brain trauma. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
There's always got to be a first. Is he
And
usually
it was the first.
Yeah. Well, last year was the first. This is second.
This is
And somebody had to do it, you know.
And we're international. We have our Australian.
You do,
Right.
Or
Paul
do you work with Paul Scanlon from
Yes.
Australia?
Yep. Worked with him for a while.
Well, you were just there, weren't you, Bruce? Because you texted me and said that you were in Australia on an airport just like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
That was my day job,
Yeah.
man.
He got back on Sunday. So, yeah.
Didn't even.
We are honored to have you. We are honored to be here. It's a thrill for myself and Corey to hear the speakers that you've had. What are you wanting to accomplish? What is the Mac Parkman Foundation all about? First of all, tell us a little bit about the story. And this is this is Bruce and Perri Parkman and their son Mac Parkman. They made the foundation in honor of their son Mac Parkman.
Yeah. Well, the foundation is all about the issue of repetitive brain trauma, Paul, Corey. What we're trying to focus on is the fact that we already know that we have a problem, that veterans are hurting, and we know why. They're getting exposed to a lot of blasts, and we know that kids and athletes are hurting, and we know why, but we have no action. We've known about this for years. You know, CTE was founded in 2005. You know, blast exposure was really starting to come out, you know, in 2010, 2012. And, you know, there's a lot of pain out there that's not being addressed. So the foundation is all about focusing on the issue of repetitive brain trauma from an action perspective, you know, building advocacy, training and education, getting programs out there, hosting a summit, you know, interacting with fine people like yourself, getting to Congress, you know, trying to get something done, which is better than what's going on right now, which is nothing.
I see on your foundation website, I see beautiful pictures, and you call your son a beautiful boy. I see a mother, just a proud mother, arm in arm with a son. Can you share what you experienced as Mac? I guess kind of started his demise. I mean, I know he played sports for years and years, and he was just a normal kid. And I've heard you say he was a loving, gentle spirit. And
Yeah, that's the thing. There were no signs. We have 2 older daughters. I'm used to what teenagers are like. What he experienced was what we would have thought to be teenage norm. Don't want to wake up in the morning. Don't want to go to bed early. Preferred a little bit darker. A little bit more solitude. But he never acted out.
mm-hmm.
He never complained of like in life. He wasn't a troublemaker at all. Very compliant. He was like a good boy. I used to tell people he's just a good boy. Like, I know he probably does shenanigans, right? But
we found out after he left, he's done some crazy stuff.
but he's a good boy. And so there was no erratic behavior to cause a red flag. Even the headaches, that would be the symptom if I have to say symptom of head trauma, he had headaches. And me as the mother, I thought, okay, well, you have allergies. It's allergy season. It's probably allergies. We live at high altitude. You're probably dehydrated. I know you were out on the field for a couple of hours. You've been practicing. You probably didn't drink enough. You probably stayed up too late last night. You probably had too many video games hours in a row. That sort of thing is what I actually thought. And so in hindsight, the headaches, the backaches could have been symptoms, but I wasn't looking for them because, as my husband says, we know all these things, right? But the thing is, we didn't.
We didn't know.
Doctors, researchers know. But the average person who has a child that loves sports, who wants to be in sports because he has friends who are in the game and for the socialization, and his parents also love the game for the socialization, right? It's a group thing. It's a familial thing. We didn't know at our level what they knew. And that's part of the beef. Is that we should have known.
So what do you think? I mean, parents are slowly waking up to, we've a lot of parents have heard about CTE, but they don't really know what it is. How these people hide what they're dealing with in mental health issues. Yeah.
You got to quit saying CTE.
Yeah.
Well,
We're not dead. Let's talk about RHIs, the repeated head impacts. Let's talk about what the causes, not the effect. The effect is you die, you get your brain. We need to talk about the repeated head.
I slipped back into the CTE, but I guess
it's what people know.
Initially, it's what people know, and what I'm getting at, there's only a small fraction of parents that understand it, that want to understand.
Right.
How do you educate a parent to say you need to look out for these things, and you need to have is it more communication with you? Is it Matt?
First of all, I honestly think, because this is how I feel, I'll hear something like, "Oh, CTE. Oh, that's that old football player, old
play in the
NFL football player disease."
Right.
I would hear arthritis. What do you think of when you hear arthritis?
Old, elderly.
Right?
Right.
It's never going to happen to me.
Right.
And that is the biggest thing. We never think it's going to happen to us.
Right.
We never think it's going to happen to our children because we care for them. We love them. We take care. We impart knowledge on them, right? So until something does happen, you don't think it's going to. But quite honestly, to let people know that it doesn't just happen. It's the repetitive brain traumas based on the way we have our lifestyle. This generation and last, and even maybe slightly before these guys, but in my generation, in your generation, it was different. Right now, we have kids that are playing the same sport for several teams all year long. How was it when you went to school? It would alternated. Football, basketball, baseball, track, cross country. You had the
snow
gamut
skiing
of everything.
Did it all.
Right? You did it all, but it was all different. They weren't all head impact sports, specifically not back to back.
Right.
And many of the participants were not year-round players. They had their favorites. They're baseball players. I'm a baseball player. I'm a wrestler. Very few crossed over into other sports. Now we have, the norm is more like what our son did. Football, right into wrestling, snowboarding in between that, exact same time, because we lived an hour and a half from the ski slope. And then as soon as wrestling was done, spring football started. He had 1 month in the year. That was June, because July 5th started
Training camp.
Right.
training for the fall.
And that was me growing up. As I wrestled in high school, I played football in high school.
You boxed too,
I
didn't you?
Yeah, I was on boxing, and I also rodeoed. So I was doing all of it, and snow skiing at Mammoth Mountain Ski Resort, which is one of the greatest in the world. And I've skied Colorado, absolutely awesome. But that's the problem is I think we need to start. Well, first of all, I talked about it with Karen, or not Karen, it was Max Gray when I talked about the Facebook video we saw the other day. Like 2 7-year-old kids playing football. Helmet to helmet,
No,
ear hole.
no.
And I'm sitting here going, this is the problem. There's no medical in that age. There's no training. There's no nothing. And it's like Paul says, well, they don't hit that hard at that age. They ain't got a myelin sheath. They ain't got neck muscles. They ain't got technique. They ain't got body. They ain't got none of it. So, yeah, it worse.
Any impact is impact.
Right.
So
There
Any
are,
impact is impact.
right. I mean, there's a lot of studies that show that these kids hit almost as hard as adults, you know, and it's, and when you start adding up those subconcussive hits, that's, you know, and that's the issue is like when I talk to a parent and that's like, and they say, wait a minute, your kid's dead from contact sports and you got your attention because they all know kids play contact sports. They're like, how'd he die? And they're thinking like a catastrophic incident, like his neck broke or something. I was like, no, he took his life. And we now know this because we had his brain examined and they justified this and validated. And he played too much contact sports. Like, you can play too much? And then you go into the repetitive impacts of how many, you know, just so you know, and you mentioned heading the soccer ball being a repetitive head impact. They're like, that moves the brain. And then you start educating them, and then the lights start going on like, wow, that makes sense.
Well,
Mark Gordon talks about
don't
ski
even
doos.
realize that the brain
What?
is gelatinous.
Mark Gordon talks about ski doos,
the sea-doos.
Oh, yeah.
the water jet skis.
Absolutely.
You talk about the boats, special forces.
There was a doctor today. There's a study coming out, and they're saying that right now, the worst case of CT they've ever seen.
Wow.
These boat guys.
Wow. I'm going to ask a quick question before we get on. I got to ask this question. We've had Bruce on 3 times. We've never had his beautiful wife.
I know. I don't even know why you keep asking me to come on. You can look at her all day. Can't look at me for 5 minutes, bro, man.
Well, I consider you a good friend now that I can call and talk to, and I enjoy. I want to know something. You guys have 3 beautiful children, right?
2 here.
You're married to a guy that was 21 years in the military, and I don't know if you've listened to our podcast, but for my military is way high. My respect, my honor, my American flag, my everything is about our soldiers. You know, it's like I told Gordon, don't even worry about me. Go take care of the people that allow me to talk to this mic or to be with my wife. You were a wife of a special operator.
Let me stop you real quick, Corey, because we didn't get married until he retired.
Oh, really?
I didn't want to get none of my retirement. You crazy?
Okay, so that was going to be my question, is dealing with the special operations.
We actually got married and he retired within the same month.
Wow.
The 2 daughters, our 2 older daughters, are from my previous marriage.
She was a package deal.
And we had met
Like Walmart.
together. Yeah.
Best looking package.
No, Neiman Marcus.
Neiman Marcus.
Marcus, there you go.
All right, Nordstrom Rack.
Yeah.
Now, which rack?
She went to Walmart. You went to Neiman.
There you go.
No, she goes to Neiman's, man. I go to Walmart, man.
I'm a.
But we met late in my career. I was in the Sergeant Major's Academy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I heard that there was this hairdresser place that you could go and they give you a beer when they cut your hair. Now, any soldier's like, I want to know more about that. Then we find out it's stacked with these pretty little single moms, right? So now we're all lined up going to the hairstylist place. Like real lined up, man. And she started cutting my hair, and that's how we met. She invited me to go on a run, and then she saw me change my clothes at a Halloween party. Tracked me around, and I mean, but that's,
Stalked
you know.
Easiest haircut you ever gave, huh?
I tried.
A Raider.
So Pat Leahy was a 16-year kicker at the New York Jets. He was a place kicker, and he went back to home to Ohio when he retired to open one of those places, beer, pool, and haircuts.
Oh yeah.
And he was bald. So
He probably made $1 million too.
he probably did. He's probably got franchise now. All right. Youth Contact Sports and Broken Brains. It's free on the Mac Parkman website. Don't get it for free on the Mac Parkman website. Buy it. It will be for you parents. We're talking about educating the parents. For you parents, this is an unbelievable read. Bruce, why did you?
It's a horrible read. I'm rewriting it. It's horrible.
It's being rewritten right now.
It's so bad.
I couldn't put it down. So
Thank you.
I am a football player, so it was.
I wrote it for
weren't
soldiers and
enough
NFL
pictures.
players. I know, right?
Nothing
Crayon.
down for
Goddamn
NFL.
crayons, man. No, it just, when in my pit of grief, when my wife was working on herself and our daughters are figuring, I was all alone, me and our 3-pound dog. And I just had to know. We had no idea. We didn't know, our son's brain was at BU. We knew that we weren't going to get a report until September. This is January. And it was bad. So I was like, why? What is this CTE stuff? Why was he mentally ill? And my friends kept telling me, like my FBI buddies, like, bro, it's not that he took his life, it's how he did it. Our son ran off a 100-foot cliff, stone cold sober. And it takes such a set of cojones and will. Like, he walked 45 minutes up to the top of that hill and still had the will to run off that thing. And I'm like, why did that boy do it? So I kept reading. And as I put things together, I'm like, there's no manual for this. I'm finding out information that any parent should know. That these sports, I'm reading all these research papers that clearly indicate that we got a problem. They're focused on CTE. They're focused on concussions. They're focused on mental health. And I said, there's hundreds of these papers. Yet there's nothing on the CDC. There's nothing on the NIH. Nobody that I've ever talked to, and I'm a semi-pro rugby player, is absolutely aware that putting a kid in contact sports is damaging their brain and jeopardizing their future. And I'm a writer. I've been a writer of business proposals, and that's how we win contracts and government contracts. I've been a writer my whole life, and that's what I do. And in the Army, you never tell anybody you know how to write, because then you write everything, right? And I'm like, I got to write a book. I've got to get this down. I've got to make it ingestible, because while I was reading these research papers, I was reading Chris Nowinski's book and Julie Stam's book, and they're thick books with a lot of big words in them. And like, well, parents don't want to read that. We got to make something. And I said, a 6-pack of beer or 1 plane flight, you can digest this book and you'll be educated to make better. So that's
5th grade education.
I was just called. I was called by the Lord. But I was called by my horror, my indignation, my frustration, and my anger that this information here is out there. I didn't make this up. I didn't dream this stuff. There's 120 foot-marked papers in the back of the book. All this is out there because our researchers won't talk, and we talked about that today, and because our politicians are afraid of, they all want to be reelected. And nobody's got a moral bone to take this on but guys like you and people like us that are like, the time has come to stop this.
Right.
We are losing our children completely unnecessarily, and this is all preventable. Your brain health, ball, mine that I've been through, is all preventable through better training and the reduction of these repetitive ed impacts. And that's what, that's why we're so fired up, is that every parent should deserve the ability to be educated so they could make an informed choice as to what's best for their child. And they're not. And they're making dumb decisions in their ignorance, like I did when I told Mac, play football. I don't care. You want to play football?
Right.
Let's get you the best homes,
So can I just say that
Say whatever you want.
you said something that makes so much sense to me, and maybe we need to rename the second book, but it's a manual. When women get pregnant, what's the first thing they do? They go out and they get the
Dr.
most
Spot.
popular book out there, What to Expect When You're Expecting. Right? And it's a manual on how to be pregnant and what to expect while you're pregnant. And then you get the next edition, which is what to expect in the first 3 months, in the first 6 months, in the first 9 months, what to expect for the first 2 years. There's manuals out there for women to go, oh, that screaming tantrum. Oh, okay, I get it now. It's not just me being a bad mom. I understand. But as a mom of a kid who wants to play sports that is a contact sport with other children, what do? There's no manual. You have to sign something at the beginning of the year, okay, I'm letting my son play.
You don't
A
read it.
permission slip. You might have to get a doctor's note saying your kid is well enough to play, right? They take their heart rate, make sure they have a heart. That's about it. That's not real in depth. But there's no real manual, right? Even for concussions, you have to go look it up. And every protocol is different, and every doctor is very different. And you do like we did. We took him to the doctor. We did what the doctor said. It was his family doctor. It was our family doctor. And he was a DO as well, so he had a little bit of holistic in him. And we really trusted him, and he did what he thought.
He
He did
don't
the
know.
protocol, and he did more. So we were really confident that we did everything we could, everything that we were supposed to do to make it through the concussion and the aftermath and getting him well and return to play.
And even when he got his third concussion, I emailed the athletic director and I emailed the wrestling coach. I emailed everybody, and I said, I want to know how many effing concussions my son can have because I'm pulling him right now. And they sent me the athletic trainer's manual, which at page 256 of 256 pages, hidden in this paragraph, says, the issue of subconcussive trauma still needs to be researched very more. There is no number on concussions. Mac never had another one.
What year was that?
That was 3 years before he died. He was a freshman.
He never had another one because
That we knew.
that they did not.
That he knew, that we knew of. That he didn't have one that was diagnosable. He had 3 over 2 seasons. Like they were, one was football, wrestling, and football, I think. Or wrestling, football, wrestling. He got more concussions with wrestling than he did football.
Wrestling was a bad one, the supination.
He got
When a kid picked him up and turned him on his head.
Oh.
In a tournament.
Thank God I was in Australia for that one, dude.
The other one was in practice, headgear to headgear with another kid, and then one in football. And the one in football, they said, it was just a mild. I don't know what just a mild actually means.
One more concussion, and I would have pulled that boy.
But it wasn't take him to the doctor right away type of thing. And without the knowledge, I hate to say that I was that naive, but I really was that naive. And I thought I knew.
This episode of the Head Rush Podcast is brought to you by our personal doctor and team of doctors, Dr. Mizelle DeMayo, and she's with the Paradise Behavioral Health, and we are in the
Brainwell program, which is also part of the Millennium Health Center. Dr. Mark Gordon, you've seen him on Joe Rogan and even on our show, the Head Rush Podcast. And hormones. And Mizelle is awesome. We love her.
She's our doctor of psychiatry. She works the Mark Gordon program with the hormones, and she adds her twist of genetics, and it basically is melding two wonderful mediums together, and we're getting great help from Dr. Mizelle DeMayo.
So please check out her website at paradisebehavioral.com. Look up the Brainwell program. Get involved.
She's sponsoring us. They're sponsoring us for the next year, so we are excited to have them on board and shout the good news to everybody that is watching these broadcasts. So,
is she helping you, Paul?
Absolutely.
She's helping me. So go check her out. ParadiseBehavioralHealth.com.
Every parent should read this as a manual before they
even the bad one.
Well, we need to get with athletic commissions and change the rule book to not page 256 and a little paragraph that says research still needs to be followed.
Everything on subconcussive trauma and re-eye trauma, everything, every paper you read says needs more research. Yep. That's how they fund themselves. Yep. That's how they justify more dollars. Because if they finally say on concussions and TBIs, this is the point, then the research money stops. These researchers are in a business, man. They're in a business that is a self-licking ice cream cone. They research something to create more research on the same thing. Look at all the concussion papers that are out there, all the TBI. We have researched this to depth, and we know we have a concussion and TBI problem, yet we haven't done a damn thing about it. And even the NFL, and I do believe, like Lay says, we need to work with the NFL. We can make these sports safer if they own up. The only thing that needs to have to go away, really, honestly, is Pop Warner. There is no place for Pop Warner anymore in this world with what we know. They go flag or they go away. I'm sorry, Pop Warner. Right. But if the NFL right now has the opportunity, when they make those changes, like, oh, we're going to shorten the playoff kickoff, right? Or every time they make a change, they are admitting they have a head injury problem. They're not saying it, but by making the game safer, it's like, yeah, we're making it safer because we got a problem. And we've got to fix this. And the only way to fix it is the hard way, which is, okay, flag till 14. Let's take the contact out of practice. And then we're going to have NFL players, unlike you, Paul, that play for 11 years and are going to have an excellent quality of life because they don't have the total aggregate amount of damage that they get.
They're going to be able to enjoy their twilight years with the money that they have saved and that they have actually had the executive function to grow.
And they deserve it. And you deserve it. Corey deserves it. You guys left your ass on the line for all those years. And because of the lack of information, now we're all, and I've suffered myself, right? And we're out there without safety nets, without modalities that work. Yet we have all the proof out there that these modalities can help us. They're not available. And then, because the insurance company doesn't want it. The pharmaceutical wants us on all these pills for everything, right? Your pee-pee don't work, got a pill for that. Oh, that makes you sad, we got a pill for that. And, I talk to veterans all the time and NFL players that are on massive amounts of drugs because it's money. Everything in this world right now is just unfortunately about money. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. And we don't want people to get cured and we can give them a pill for the rest of their life. Why do I want you to be happy and cured and healthy when I could be charging you $100 a pill every week forever?
You honor your son Mac well, you really do, and what you are doing and what you have accomplished. I know you're you guys are the catalyst, and Karen and Doug from StopCTE.org.
Love those people.
They need a break, and they're still working hard, and you're busting your tails. And people, you have a manual. You really have a manual about repeated head impacts and the dangers of. And we're very fortunate that there is a manual. We're fortunate that you do what you do for awareness. And I'm excited about tomorrow. I'm excited about next year already, right? So
DC, right? Didn't you say that
We're going
today?
big or we going home, man. That's how we're rolling.
And I got to tell you something.
It's big anyway.
And we're getting ready to let you go so you can get back to the party and enjoy yourself.
No, I just need to get back to my pillar.
it's time. Yeah,
Is
you got one more.
You
You
know,
got one more day.
I got one more beer in me.
this is my first annual repeated head impact
Conference.
summit.
Conference. Yeah, so
Right, conference. I've talked about bringing non-medical and medical together and locking them in a room, let them box it out until they can start to get educated with each other and come to a conclusion. Today, I also learned, and I did not know this, you had Lee Steinberg show up.
That was big.
Great speaker.
That was
And
big.
if you don't know who Lee Steinberg is, Troy Aikman's agent, Steve Young's agent, every quarterback's
Maguire.
agent. He wasn't Paul's agent. But
I
Paul
didn't
was
make
doing
enough to grow his $4 billion in
But-
representation. So
what he's been working on for many years and having a repeated head meeting every year at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just found out about that. And
That is
so that's pretty amazing.
yeah, but
Tremendous.
what there's a problem that you just found out about. That is a problem that we don't know about it.
Yeah.
There's an absolute problem that it's not teaching. No Pop Warner, like you
Right.
said, it's a problem, and you guys are
So-
you guys are helping to fix that
We're
problem.
attempting to
Try. Everybody that
even
watches your
like the
podcast.
new seatbelt law. You know,
Right.
when they finally figured out in the 60s and 70s that if you go too fast in a car and you get in an accident and you go through the roof or through the windshield that causes death, maybe there's something that you could do about that. Wow, let's try to put seatbelts on, and then we're going to test them to see if this works. We want to make it mandatory that we take steps from this research of what can we do? What can we do? Well, we can prevent the problem to begin with. We can prevent these kids from having their bell rung over and over and over again. When I found out that the position that Mac played has an average of 300 hits to the head a week, I said, oh my God, it didn't even occur to me.
Lineman.
You know, it didn't even occur to me. I would never hit my kid in the head once, much less 300 times in 1 week.
How about in the butt? Did you?
Yes.
That boy never got hit.
No.
I never spanked him, but I would, right.
Right.
But that was the thing. We didn't have to do it. It was like,
Right.
he heard his voice, and that was it. That's all.
He called it my sergeant major voice.
He's like, that voice all day after. And he had 2 older sisters.
Right.
So he learned from them. He learned what not to do or how not to get caught. I'm not sure which, but it worked out. But
It is sneaky boy.
there's the thing. We know what the problem is. How do we solve it? The seatbelt is, let's
Reduce
be smart
contact.
about this. And when the brain develops to a point from 14 to 25, we'll negotiate what that is starting to form, that we're starting to get those connections, then maybe we could do something. Maybe at high school, right? But prior to that, You want to damage the prefrontal cortex and prevent the myelination of our brain, our executive function of our life? You want this to be damaged before it's even formed? Like, this is science. We didn't make this up. This is science. And science also tells us that when you hit this over and over and over again, you're damaging it.
Right.
So why do we do this, and why is it so damn popular?
Well, it's
Why
what
is it accepted? And
what
why
Brett-
do people do it?
Oh,
Because they want to be like our family.
right.
And our family wanted to be like my son's friend's family. Because we thought it was what you were supposed to do. Get your kid involved in sports. Get them active. Get them involved. And they're going to stay out of trouble, stay off drugs, and they're going to grow up big and strong and have amazing lives. And that was the American dream, because that's what we were fed. But now we know, and we should have known then.
Well, now we know. We don't know what we don't know.
We should
It's
have
real.
known.
It's a real problem. It's a real family, and your boy was real to you every second of his life. And
We appreciate you guys letting us honor him.
Thank you so much.
He's a good boy, man.
Thank you for your Thank you for
I
your
love
time
that little.
with us
Nothing.
at the summit. Thank you for taking time out of your life to come and be with us and learn
Thank
with us.
you for having it.
And for
for
setting us
us
up.
and
This is
everybody else
amazing,
in this
dude.
room.
This is like, man, I'm so jealous. This is like awesome, dude, man. I mean, this is really cool.
About it, I'm
Just
sitting
being here
here.
with us and sharing your love of life and your struggles. And we really are honored. We really are honored that everyone here showed up, and we're just humbled.
You're blessed.
Well, you look at
Yeah.
the lineup that you've had. I mean, Lee Steinberg
Bowl of
to
great guys.
Claire Bottom to Gracie Wright to Dr. Cantor. You got Mark Gordon coming. You had an Australian adaptation special force operator, Paul
Paul Scanlon.
And you're
Scanlon.
Scanlon, yeah. He's
Hey, you need to get him on there.
Yeah.
He's
Right
right speak
there.
English.
No.
Oh, trying to stay behind the
No,
camera.
we're gonna get you on.
I mean, you got Dr. Daniel Pearl, you got Dr. Mark Gordon, Trevor Millard, Dr. Jim Kelly. You got people from every walks of life, of traditional, non-traditional, showing up and talking about it. And we've had these people on our podcast, some of them.
Amazing.
But what you're doing is you're bringing them into where they're sitting in a chair next to
And we're
each
giving
other.
them beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're giving them beers. Let them talk.
One plug for Mizell. And when we told her she needs to get more psychiatrists involved with this
Amen.
this help, because it's a mental health issue.
It is.
How many
man.
psychiatrists do you have at your summit?
Right, that is the biggest gap that we have in our summit, is finding somebody to talk about the lack of awareness in the psychiatric and psychological communities about this issue. So that, like, when I saw my shrink, you lose your child, man, you're going to see a girl,
yeah.
shrink.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I said, she goes, why are you here? And we started talking. I said, this is what I'm learning. I'm writing a book. She goes, Bruce, and she was horrified. She goes, I am sending all my children that play contact sports back out to play them because it means so much to them. I am completely ignorant of this issue. She goes, this is horrifying. She goes, I can't believe this. And she goes, and it makes so much sense that I'm seeing these 16 and 17-year-old football players and girls that are massive soccer players with these, major bouts of mood disorders and depression and anxiety. And I'm giving them pills, but I'm telling them to go play the sports because it's their identity, it's their core, it's their ego, their id, and they need to get out there and be themselves. And she goes, I'm hurting my patients.
Look at Crystal right here. That's a therapist that flew from Texas out here to be in a seat next to me, since I haven't flown since my last major TBI, and to make sure I'm okay and to guide me. she had no clue about repeated head impacts, and she deals with service members. She deals with first responders, police officers. She deals with all of that.
Well,
Her student came out tonight that lives here that goes on the Zoom when we talk.
you
That goes to school and was never taught about it in college.
bottom line is Crystal changed some things about her intake form, or some of the questions tailored to repeated head impacts.
We've got
Right.
all
Just
the
because
questions.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You got,
Yeah, we'll donate. We've got an entire
Much.
question list to
Amazing.
update the traditional assessments, the intake forms,
Right.
with questions on RHI and RBE. We updated the Myomnia mental health application platform. They came to us, the foundation. We gave them the questions. Those questions, we'll post them online for any psychiatrist to download them and understand what TES is. You know about TES. 4 questions, right? Have you played contact sports? Do you have mental illness? Is it progressing? And do you have any genetic predisposition? If that's a no, you need to go see a neurologist, right? The possibility of a biologically caused or brain injury and mental illness correlation is very high. Go see a neurologist.
we have to open our mouths every chance we get. You did it to your psychiatrist. You did it to a therapist. I actually was rolling in on a gurney to have an ablation 4 months ago.
Oh,
And the doctor walking beside me had 2 boys in football. And I said, make sure they're on their omega-3s. I didn't know, you have to have
Right.
your polyphenols with your omega-3s now. And she says, what are you talking about? I said, you got to bring the inflammation down. If you're going to let your kids play football and bang their heads, you got to. And she's like, and actually, I saw her about 3 weeks later, and she said, "Thank you for talking about that. Now I know." And we've got to just keep spreading the awareness.
yeah, one life at a time, man.
Yeah.
This is what, and thank you guys for having this podcast. It's amazing. You're reaching out, man. I saw that Brett Favre one. That was amazing, dude, man.
Yeah.
Hats off to you, and continued success. Anything we can do for you from the foundation, call my wife.
Absolutely.
I tell you what, I am sold on your wife now.
She's best part of me, Mo.
The way she eloquently
Eloquently. Is that how you say it? Maybe?
talked about the knowledge and the understanding of repeated heads and how she didn't know, but she did the homework. She did the research to see. She did everything she thought a mother should do to protect her son,
Yep, she did.
and found out that that still wasn't enough.
Smart.
And
And
so
that's why the tagline is, we should have known.
All that
And
stuff
guess
that's
what?
in the back of that book, we should have known.
Every parent should know, and they don't. And every athlete should know, and they don't. When Bruce said that I was off doing my thing, it was because I relapsed after our son died, and I'm in treatment with these kids. And we start talking about what happened to our son and the possibility that football and contact sports, we weren't sure what it was, had something to do with it.
I couldn't talk to her.
There was 2 kids that were in treatment, 24 years old, and one was like 23 years old. When I say multiple suicide attempts, I'm talking 9+ suicide attempts. And in whatever drug of choice, alcohol of choice they were in, but they were in active addiction. When I proposed the possibility that they could have a damaged brain from their football and one of them,
Nine concussions. 9 concussions in high school.
Ohio.
And a car accident.
Did it get them hope, or did they poo-poo it?
Well, let me tell you what they said. Both of them said, "You mean football might have caused this?" I just thought I was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I just thought I was crazy. So there's hope. There is hope.
Yep.
There's
Let's
hope.
get the word out.
Amen.
100%.
At a time.
I can't end it any better than
Can I
that.
say one
Yeah.
more thing? Please like, share, and subscribe, and check out
Broken Brain
Broken Brains podcast. Because I'm even impressed.
I'm totally impressed
Oh
with
yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
They're the people.
With-
the people. Yeah.
The people that you have on, honey, is just like, where do they find these people? Denny, our director, is amazing at
Longboard.
finding these people. And
Longboard.
the level of education that you get from a 1 hour podcast is just phenomenal. So I'm so grateful that
Go to like,
job.
share, follow the Mac Parkman on LinkedIn, Facebook.
The
Go
things I
there,
do
go
for
to
a
Broken
compliment for my
Brains.
wife.
Go like, share, follow.
One more plug in the
Go
words.
to Amazon and purchase the book.
In the words of Woody, Woody from Toy Story, if you don't have a book, get one. So get about 10. Get about 10 and give them to your
Christmas presents.
or your
Hand 'em
friends.
out. We should put them on thumb
Spread
drive.
the word.
Send them out, man.
Spread the word.
Cool.
Give hope.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, guys.
Appreciate it.
So
God
much.
bless you both.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Head Rush Podcast, brought to you by the Patrick Risha CTE Awareness Foundation. Karen Siegel, thank you so much. Paul?
So go to stopcte.org, learn about their foundation, and they are sponsoring us for the next year. We are thrilled to have them team up with them and bring awareness to this disease.
So please go to their Facebook page, go to their website, check them out. Karen is very, very, very willing to work with you. Contact her, and if you do know her, thank her for us, or just go on their Facebook page and say thank you for sponsoring the Head Rush Podcast. Dude, I tell you, the 2 episodes, I don't think we'll be able to beat it for a while, but we will.
We absolutely.
But-
more great guests and more great content and yeah, we're here finishing up 2 wonderful episodes at the Mac Parkman Summit on Repetitive Brain Trauma in Tampa, Florida, and we've had some amazing guests. We still have a day tomorrow to listen to more incredible speakers and doctors, and so I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Good job tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, the gongs in the back were getting me a little
I
bit.
bet you they were,
And probably getting our
the
sound
song
guy
holes.
too.
but yeah.
And I want to say thank you to Transcend Studios for coming out. We do everything through Real News back in Texas. It was just easier for us to bring out Transcend Studios to come out here in Tampa. They did a beautiful job, beautiful lighting, beautiful mics. I want to give them a kudos. Coming up, doing a setup,
Make
doing
sure
everything
if you
right.
ever need any production,
I want to
just-
give kudos. I want to do something different
Yeah.
to close out this episode.
Okay.
So to close this out, y'all have never met my wife before. This is my beautiful wife, Susan Berry. My therapist you've seen on the episode,
Our
They-
therapist.
our therapist.
I
Mine
know,
first.
first.
But
she's still trying to.
I want to
Well,
give a shout out to my wife.
Yeah.
She has dealt with this since 1999. We're getting ready to do 27 years together.
Mm-hmm.
She has supported me, backed me, and been through some crazy, crazy shit. And now she's supporting and backing me and bringing hope and awareness to a disease that may or may not kill me. And for her to say, let's go to Tampa, and do a repeated head impact and have the podcast there and learn. She's sitting there. She ain't at the beach enjoying herself, ladies and gentlemen. She's sitting there at the meetings listening to these speakers that Bruce brought in and educating herself on how traumatic this can be, and listening to Tatiana McCall talking about her son, listen to Karen talk about her son. My therapist has come to help me on the travels, and she's sitting through it and doing it all. And I tell you, the only way we can get hope and awareness out is by beautiful ladies like this. I was going to invite Christine to come on, but I guess she's downstairs. So I'm sorry, Christine. I tried.
I think Susan. No, she's holding your feet to Port Aransas in a month or so you guys can actually get a walk on the beach together. And we're going to take your cowboy boots off, and you're going to ground in the.
Guess what I did yesterday?
Did you walk in the sand?
I even walked into the water. I even walked into Tampa Bay.
That's salt water.
Wranglers up and walk.
Oh, go cowboy. Hey.
So I did some ground. I even sent a picture to Nick LeDuc.
Yeah, okay, good. We've got to get him back on soon. So, hey, great job.
Oh yeah, awesome job. You did awesome.
So you just
Guys are awesome.
we're just
did a great job.
well thank you. That's so nice. You know what?
Positive reinforcement. Come on.
The message makes it easy, and bringing awareness. Get that book. I've said it 10 times in the last 20 minutes. Get awareness. Get aware of what happens when repeated head impacts affect your children and your loved ones.
I want a word from my wife.
Yeah.
On what she thinks about this weekend so far.
You got to talk, right?
It's been very enlightening. I watched a very strong woman here realize something in her life in the last couple of hours, and also sitting here watching you guys, and the tears flew and flowed out today, realizing what everybody has lost while they're dealing with all of this. When people are losing their sons and their husbands and their brothers and their uncles and their dads, and I still have my husband here. My daughter still has her dad here, and we're still working to not find a cure. We just want to live life to the fullest, and we want him to be happy and not progress as fast as they think he's going to progress.
Well, I think the hope the light is growing, hope is growing. So let's keep sharing that.
All righty.
All right.
Thank you for coming to Tampa.
Thank you.
Have a good one, folks. Like, share, follow, subscribe, go to Google, go to all of our platforms. Leave us a review or comment on who you want to see on our podcast, or if you have any questions that we haven't answered about repeated head impacts. Other than that, we'll talk to you later from Texas. And thank you again, Travis and
Lucas.
With
Guys are
Transcend
awesome.
Studios. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much. Hopefully next year you'll go to Washington, D.C. with us. Have a good one.
This podcast is for general information only and does not constitute the practice of medicine. The use of this information and the materials linked to this podcast is at the user's own risk. The content of this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Users should not disregard and delay in obtaining medical advice from any medical condition they have, and they should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions.